Yeah, mate.
Hi, I'm Damien King, 3-time World Bodyboard Champion, and this is my high-end performance signature model board. It's the exact board that I ride, and it's been designed for speed and control. This board is ideal for both prone and drop knee. One of my favourite and more unique features is the concave that runs through the back of the tail. Not only does it help with speed, but it helps with control and holding you onto the wave's face. Pair this up with the palm bulbs and the nose bulbs for maximum grip, also the sirloin slick which gives you better flex and protection, and the 50-50 rails will help with speed, and the channels for stability. My boards are available in two core options, the Kingy Limited Edition and the Kingy Paradox Cell. The Kingy Limited Edition features a Polypro core with a trolley de-stringer system. This consists of a stringer going through the centre of the board and two stringers on the side. This helps with flex in the nose for those heavy waves, and the two half stringers in the back of the tail help maintain speed and acceleration. The Paradox Cell is a less dense Polypro core and comes with 3 flat stringers running through the board. These flat stringers give a little extra flex, which is ideal for colder water. I've used all my knowledge over the years to come up with what I think is the best board on the market. It'll work in all conditions, both prone and drop knee, and I think the advanced riders will get the most out of this board.
Okay, there we have it, folks. The Turbo Zicatela Pro, sponsored by Sporting Bet. Welcome back, everyone. This is a live show. We're coming at you all around the world from Mexico, and I'm Alex Leon, Terry McKenna.
Yeah, g'day, folks. Welcome along. We're just, slipping in here to update everybody about what's happening with the competition. Of course, we put it on hold this morning, and I don't know if you can sort of see, but there's a bit of plastic here just flapping away on my right-hand side. The wind's really on shore today, and the chances for us, Alex, of running the competition are pretty slim, mate.
Yeah, it's looking pretty dismal out there at the moment. hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens anyway the next sort of hour or two.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we will make an official call at 3 o'clock, but chances are about 90% at this stage that we won't be going. Forecast for the next couple of days looking really good. I was speaking with Mark McCarthy and Jeff and Mike this morning. We've got offshore winds coming in, Alex. A new storm cell is going to change the wind direction, and we also have a brand new swell coming in. It's going to peak on Thursday at a good solid 8 feet. I mean, there's the graphic on screen there at the moment, mate. Take us through it.
Yeah, there we see today sort of 5 to 6 feet, south-southwest swell. It's actually got a bit more west in it than we thought at the start when we first looked at the forecast on the weekend. Coming into Wednesday, actually, it only says south-southwest swell on each day, but as you see Friday, it says south. So you can see it actually tends to go more south if you look on the defined charts. So it's a better direction. You want a south swell here in Mexico. But you see Wednesday, it starts to pick up a little bit, and it really peaks on Wednesday night, the biggest of the swell. Still Thursday morning, a fair bit of size, and leading into Friday should be a bit smaller, but really good direction, so really peaky on the bank. We're looking at probably 3 foot peaks, 4 foot peaks.
Yeah, Mexican style, because, 3 foot peak back in Australian beach break, of course, is, here is a 1 foot beach break. So this place has so much power and it's got so much grunt in it. It's an incredible way for high performance bodyboarding. I guess, mate, we're up to, what are we up to? Round number 3 of the competition. These are the 3-man heats, and there's some really cool clashes coming up in this round. Of course, only one person gets eliminated in that third round of competition, and the other 2 guys move into those 4-man round 4 heats. And that's a non-elimination round, which means that you can really go for it. In fact, we called that the showcase round, where we wanted to showcase high performance bodyboarding and let guys really sort of put it on the line and go for those big moves without the threat of being eliminated. The big benefit, though, Alex, in those round 4 heats is that if you win your heat, you go instantly into the quarterfinals.
That's right.
And,
That's a big plus.
Whilst you don't get eliminated, there's a really big bonus for winning those heats. Second goes into the round before, and then third and fourth will go into the very next round number 5 of the competition. So, a lot of surfing to be done, folks. We're going to look at probably about 12 heats on Wednesday, 12 heats on Thursday, and then we'll just finish off on Friday with only the semis and the finals. That allows us to increase those semis to 35 and have a 40-minute final, and it's going to be a cool show.
That's good. And you know what? We saw round 1 go down the other day, and I think the boys have cut a highlight package for you, so we'll have a look at that, and we'll see who got through and who dipped out into round 2. So have a look at round 1 highlights coming at you now. G'day folks, I'm Alex Leon. We're down in beautiful Puerto Escondido, Mexico. The Turbo Zicatela Pro, presented by Sporting Bet. Mother Nature provided some incredible waves today down here at Zicatela. Amazing action went down for round 1. Have a look at this.
As you can see, incredible waves there. Zicatela Beach just delivering the goods for all these riders. Stay tuned. We're going to get underway with round 2 tomorrow. So follow us on ibaworldtour.com or follow us on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, IBA World Tour. I'm Alex Leon. Hasta mañana.
Wow, welcome back. There you have it, round 1. Some incredible surfing going down across all boards there. Right, all the athletes across the world competing here, and I'll tell you what, some standouts in that first round, Terry.
There was, mate. I really enjoyed the first round of competition here, and we do apologise once again for some of the technical issues we had. Although that highlight clip really captured the best of it, so you didn't have to watch it for 8 hours or whatever, and can condense it down into the best stuff. But mate, some of the standouts for me, Alex, was of course Dallas Singer from my hometown in Newcastle. Dallas looked so comfortable out there on that day. It's of course he surfs Box Beach a lot, and it was just like boxing on steroids, and Dallas was just like he was right at home. And, of course, we saw some really cool stuff there from Jeff Hubbard. Jeff is the defending champion of this competition. He's always really focused when he comes down here to Mexico. In fact, he came down here during the original contest window and was surfing every day. So he's almost a local down here at the moment, and he's looking super comfortable. And I guess the third and final highlight for me of that first round, Alex, was Mexican Chewy Silva. Chewy clocked up a 10-point ride. He just went to town on that thing, and the crowd just lit up down here at Zicatela. Unfortunately, both of the Mexicans have been knocked out of the draw, but they've done really good against some of the world's best.
That's right, yeah. I mean, hats off to them, for actually making the trial event, making it into the Grand Slam. It's a big achievement for them, because they don't get to leave Mexico, really, and they mainly just stay here and surf this beach breaks 365 days a year, so
that's right.
It's hats off.
I got some really good talent down here. Ulysses Rodriguez, Chewy Silva, Hedka Santiago. I mean, a few of these guys did make the trip to Chile for the contest at El Gringo this year, and they just once again in Chile they looked really comfortable as well. They just serve so many big gaping barrels. These guys, they're just very comfortable in the tube. So mate, we had some all those heat winners from round number 1. We've highlighted them on the draw there. Let's just go through some of the guys that won their heats in that opening round of competition.
Yeah, so heat 1, we saw Thomas Rigby from Australia taking that one out, surfing incredible there, young Thomas. And heat 2, we had Mark McCarthy, a South African.
Yeah, Mark
winning that one.
He looked in such great form, and he's going to be a real threat here at this contest.
Yeah, he was linking every combination, perfect, just linking them all up. Heat 3, we had Johan Florentin.
Well, this
Reunion Island.
Yeah, this French kid, let me tell you what, he made the final in the Rio Pro. He surfed really well in tiny waves in Venezuela, and he's come here and he's won the trials, and he is rattling some cages. In fact,
big time.
There's a very good chance with a strong national result on his home national tour that this kid could be on the GSS tour next year. He's really sitting in a pretty sweet spot at the moment, and this is a guy that you're going to hear a lot more of, Johan Florentin.
Yeah, well, we look at that heat, and he was up against Andrew Lester, Amaury Laverne, and Chewy Silva, taking down, former world champ, Amaury Laverne, and one of your all-time greats, Andrew Lester.
Yeah. So that
big standout.
Keep an eye for that name. In fact, there's a lot of fresh young talent coming out of Reunion, and in fact, mainland France as well. It's really good to see. Yeah,
and then we go into Heat 4, and Dallas Singer once again.
Yeah,
took that one out.
As we said, Dal looking super comfortable. Hasn't had a good result this year on the tour. Too much. He's coming off a couple of 17ths, I believe, and
he had a big injury.
Yeah, and he also, had that injury when he was in Chile when they went to the flow rider in Santiago, and Dal just got wiped out on that thing and really busted his leg up big time. In fact, he's got a couple of pins and rods in there. So, but he's back stronger than ever, and I know all the guys in Newcastle are going to be rooting for him.
That's right. Now we jump to Heat 5. Dave Hubbard, the Hawaiian.
Yeah, well, Dave loves it down here. Dave's almost Mexican, honestly. He looks Mexican, and he speaks almost fluent Mexican as well. And
he's got his hair braided.
Yeah, that's right. And he just loves it down here. He's, he feels like a local when you see him in these waves. And he's such a versatile bodyboarder. I mean, whether it be on the knee or prone or whatever, incredible, competitor and really one to watch.
Yep, that's right. Now coming in Heat 6. the Basque Country favourite, Alex Urunga.
Yeah, well, Urunga is he's unstoppable. Remember back last year in Reunion Island when he face planted and he looked like Frankenstein's son? Well, he is almost unstoppable, Alex. And when he's on a roll, I tell you what, it's very hard to beat.
Oh, he's a Spaniard.
Yep.
So we go into Heat 7 there, and once again, Jeff Hubbard.
Jeff is looking on track for another win here. I tell you what, it's really going to take something extraordinary to stop this guy.
Right.
He is just, motoring his way to another win here at Zicatela, I believe.
He was my personal favourite in round 1.
Sure.
The way he surfed and I think the points difference too compared to second and third in that heat was probably the biggest difference over all the heats.
Yeah.
They were pretty close, but Jeff was a major standout.
He was light years in front, Alex. You're right, mate. And, when we just watched that highlight package there, you could see just some of the the combination of major manoeuvres that he's doing. So he's just, stringing together more moves on a wave than anyone, and he's doing them right in the zone, and he's just, it's just copybook, really just surfing to the criteria. So, yeah.
Okay, so then we just go the last one, Heat 8, and Mitch Rawlins from Australia taking that one out.
Yeah, Mitch went out there, and he's always a quiet achiever. He kind of sneaks through the couple of earlier rounds almost unnoticed, but I remember just the one particular invert that he did, just a textbook Rawlins invert, and it was just beautiful to watch. So that was the first round of competition, Alex. We've got more people that are going to take my spot, I believe, after we throw to an ad break.
That's right. We'll just want to talk about Sporting Bet as well, sportingbet.com.au if you're in Australia or New Zealand. Also Sporting Bet in Spain and Brazil. This is our major betting agency now for the IBA, so you can go here each night after the event's on and have a look at the odds and what the different riders are paying and have a gamble, put some money down, have a punt on your favourite rider, see who you think is going to win. There's a few head-to-heads in there as well. I believe there's some head-to-heads coming out tomorrow. I think it's Lester and Pierre, and then there's Stewart and Glammy Tamiga. There's another one with Winnie and Jeff. So there's some good betting options for everyone.
Betcha. Well, sportingbet.com.au. Go to that little website, folks, and register yourself an account. I know that, a bunch of my friends down home are going to get into it. And, it adds a whole new dimension to watching the competition when you've got $20 on someone. It makes
That's why I like watching the footy and that, because I love just having a punt. Yeah, and now I can actually punt on my favourite sport, so it's good.
Well, there you go.
And you know what? We've got an advert, so Sporting Bet, have a look.
Welcome to the world of Sporting Bet.
At Sporting Bet, we live and breathe sports and racing. It's what we do, day in and day out. That's why we're the punter's favourite, providing top odds and unique promotions on a huge range of markets. And our cutting-edge technology means you can bet anywhere, anytime. So if you're into sports and racing as much as we are, go to sportingbet.com.au today. Because there's no better bet than a Sporting Bet.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There we have it, sportingbet.com.au, presenting sponsor of this event down here in Port Escondido.
Yeah, we'd also like to acknowledge, of course, our media partners, YouTube, iiNet, and Light Bodyboard, of course, been doing a fantastic job of helping us out as well. There's some really cool stuff on the website as well, too, Alex. Some packs up for grabs on the IBA shop. Do you want to run through a couple of those little ones? There's some really nice little packs there. I believe there's 3 packs, mate. Take us through it.
Mate, yeah, there's a $60 pack, which gives you $120 in value. There's a $80 pack, which gives you $200 in value. And then there's a $100 pack that gives you $300 in value. And I'll tell you what, the value in these packs, especially that last one, you get $150 off any Reflex wetsuit.
Yep.
That's pretty much a spring suit right there.
Sure.
Plus, for all inverted bodyboard stores online, you get 30% off. There's T-shirts, hats, boardies, turbo boardies, Reflex hats, turbo hats, you name it, it's all there. And also, we got the Zicatela contest shirt, $30 Australian dollars, and they're shipping worldwide. So get yourself one of them and help support the event. Plus, all these sponsors behind us. Have a look there. They're all the sporting sponsors of the event down here in Mexico.
Yeah, well, thank you very much to Inverted, the guys at Reflex, Red Bull, Coastal Playground, of course, throwing their weight behind the competition. We had sportingbet.com.au, and, of course, Colorado Surf. It's Humberto Oliveira's got a couple of stores right here in Puerto Escondido. It's a beautiful little tourist town, this one, and as we said, trying to raise a bit of awareness off the back of what was a pretty nasty hurricane for those guys. In fact, I'll go as far to say is that I reckon the town has rebuilt itself to a new level, because I was here last year And I've noticed that there's a bunch of new little bars and stuff along the beachfront. And, it's just one of my coolest. I used to really, one of my favourite places for a long time was Bali and the surrounding islands of Indonesia.
That's
but
right.
I tell you what, I can't really go past this one, man. This is an absolute haven for surfers and bodyboarders.
Oh, it's the most consistent wave in the world, definitely, and it's one of the best and heaviest beach breaks I've ever surfed, for sure.
Awesome. Incredible. Well, speaking of awesome and incredible, of course, we've gone through the round 1 highlight package, and round number 2 was even more exciting, Alex.
It was, round 2 was our elimination round. It was our repechage round from round 1, so 3rd and 4th went into round 2. And you know what, I think we've got a highlights package of that, so here's a sneak peek of round 2.
G'day everyone, I'm Alex Leon. Welcome to the Turbo Zicatela Pro, sponsored by Sporting Bet. So today we ran round 2, and conditions were really, really tough today for the boys. But let's see who got through.
Will you fall down into my life? Will you fall down into my life? Will you fall down? Angel, angel. Show love. Will you catch me when I'm falling down? Will you catch me when I'm falling down? When I'm falling. Angel, angel. Will you catch me when I'm falling down? Catch me when I'm falling down, when I'm falling. Angel, angel. Cheerleader in my dreams. Things are not just what they seem. Cheerleader in my dreams, my love. My ancestors show love.
As you can see, today's conditions were very, very tough, but you know what? They dug deep today. The guys made it through. They're into round 3. They take on the rest of the boys tomorrow. We're coming back tomorrow, round 3, 7:30 in the morning. Follow all the action on ibaworldtour.com, or you can follow us on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, IBA World Tour. I'm Alex Leon. We're down here in Porto Escondido. Hasta mañana.
Well, there you go, folks. That was round two highlights. And just for you, most of you that are tuning in right now, this is the IBA Mexico pre-show before the main event starts. We're just waiting on a call. It's going to be made. Contest organisers are saying 3 o'clock the call's going to be made. So we're just going to run this pre-show first, just give you all the highlights of what went down the last few days.
Yeah, we've seen some really cool highlights. In fact, that was a round 2 highlight package that we just saw then. And winners from round number 2, I was just having a look through that draw then, included, we had the boys from Brazil, of course, Uri Valadea. Uri, of course, is the 2008 IBA World Champion. He went a little quiet off the back of winning the world title, Alex, and I've noticed in the last 12 months that Uri Valadea has taken his surfing to a whole new level. He is really back with a vengeance, and he could be really one to watch. Straight after that, it was Roberto Bruno, also one of the informed Brazilians, taking out heat number 2.
Man, the Brazilians are dangerous.
They're always dangerous, and, particularly in a situation where there's man-on-man, because they're so good and they're so competition-savvy when it comes to using the man-on-man priority system. They use a lot of that stuff on their national tour down in Brazil, and as a result, they're a little more versed than the average competitor when it comes to one-on-one competition. Heat number 3 saw Jacob Romero from Hawaii. Jacob was on fire, and it was his birthday that day.
Yeah, it was too, yeah.
So Romero was, really hitting the high notes in his one, and in the last one, it was Michael Novi from Australia who got out in front. That was a killer heat. If you cast your memory back, there was Jones Russell and Mike Stewart in that heat, and Jonesy and Mike were just going wave to wave. In fact, in the last 10 seconds in that last heat, folks, in round 2, Jones Russell got a wave that put him into second, and right behind him, Mike Stewart got a wave, and that put Mike back into second, pushed Jones Russell back down into
and we
third.
saw Edda was leading that heat for the first 25 minutes of
That's
that 35-minute heat.
Yeah, that was a really good heat to watch. Look, there was a couple of other things happened during round 2 that probably noteworthy. Jake Stone from Australia was really unlucky in his one.
Very unlucky.
Yeah, he got like an incredible big wave right at the end there, big roll, and I've never seen anything like it, but he just bounced up and went up with the M zone and just flew around up in the air and hung onto his board. Sadly, whilst it was very spectacular to watch and it was, had a lot of wow factor, it didn't really fall into the criteria for competition. He got caught in the suds for a long time, and as a result, he actually fell
he lost by
0.10 short. And I just saw him over at the 7-Eleven. He's all right. He's just going to watch a movie, and he said, you know what, I'll take that on the chin, and you move forward.
That's right. And, we look at that last heat too. Michael Novi, he's sitting, I think, 19th. That's right. He's sitting 19th on the tour, so he really needed to get through that heat, to try and re-qualify this year.
Yeah, well, there's another guy who came back from a pretty horrific injury this year and hurt his back towards the end of last year. And, it's been a really good comeback for him. Look, round 2, other noteworthy performances came from Alberto Colucci from Venezuela. Alberto's long been a standout from that part of the world, and he's a very experienced campaigner. Great to see him getting a good result here in Mexico. And also, same category, different country, Jorge Coloma, who's everybody's favourite.
Yeah, Puerto
He
Rican.
looks like, he's got that crazy facial hair. He looks like Wolverine's goofy cousin, but he's a killer guy, and he's such a talent, and he's really doing Puerto Rico proud over here, and, we're really looking forward to seeing
he's got a
how
lot
this
of
goes.
passion.
He has a lot of passion.
You see him with the Puerto Rican flag wrapped around his neck every time he comes in, whether he wins or comes second. He's always got that flag around his neck.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you got a chance to see it yet, Alex, but he's got this Jorge dance that he does whenever he's super stoked or he's like on the dance floor at after parties. He's infamous for it. In fact, we'll try and dig it up and hopefully get it onto YouTube one day. It's so funny.
I'm sure we'll see it at the after party after the event.
Well, I'm going to capture it on film.
Okay, so that was round 2. We saw round 1. We saw round 2 highlights. What we're going to dive into is hopefully this afternoon, round 3. Depending on the conditions, it is still onshore out there, but we'll know at 3 o'clock. The contest director is going to give us the okay, or he's going to can it till tomorrow morning, which will be a 7 o'clock start tomorrow morning here in Mexico.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we've got, we usually have a little committee of myself as the technical director. We have, Chico Garitano is the head judge, and then we bring in some riders. Mark McCarthy's the riders rep here. It's, we don't make these calls by ourselves. We get a consensus on what everybody wants to do, but just looking over the shoulder there at the moment, Alex, that onshore wind is blowing pretty badly, and the chances are pretty slim. But stick around because there's some really cool stuff happening on the pre-show straight after this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we had to take the chance to call it this afternoon because last night, for about half an hour before dark, the wind went offshore and it turned on, and it was pumping waves for about half an hour. And as you can see there, the conditions are pretty dismal at the moment. There are sets, but you can see that wind. It is howling onshore here. We've had some funny sort of storm pattern around today too. We saw a bit of lightning and rain this morning, so it's actually a good call. Everyone's pretty stoked that it was a lay day. They didn't want to really surf in this sort of marsh at the moment.
No. I just came back from a little free surf at La Punta, where a few of the boys are up there mucking around. I know that some other guys went the other way down to Punta Colorado, had some little fun shories down there. But in general, it's pretty mushy and not really doing it.
Yeah, that's right. So we look at round 3. We'll go into round 3, and we got our first heat's going to be Galami Tamiga taking on another Brazilian, Uri Valadao and Jorge Coloma. And then we go to Heat 2. It's going to be Mark McCarthy, Dave Hubbard, and Alberto Colucci. Mm-hmm. And then we dive into Heat 3. Amaury Laverne, Andrew Lester, and Jacob Romero.
Well,
that's going to be my favourite.
Yeah.
Heat 4, we go to Dave Winchester, Roberto Bruno, and Thomas Rigby.
God, they're all so tough, aren't they, mate?
And then we go in... There we go, Heat 5. We've got Pierre-Louis Costes, Michael Novi, and Mike Stewart.
Yeah, that's
Keep
probably,
your eyes on this one.
That's probably the hardest one. I saw Mike last night. We went to dinner together, and he said, "You know what heat I'm in?" I said, "You don't want to know." And he said, and he said that he's had some interesting clashes against Pierre, and in fact, he's come out on top of a few of them. So it's funny because some of these younger guys look up so much to Mike Stewart, and in a sense. They're intimidated a little bit by him, and despite the fact that they're, some of them are half his age.
That's right.
And higher ranked than him. Mike's so experienced, and he'll take any advantage that he can get. Yeah. And this is going to be a really good heat to watch, that one, for sure.
Yeah, so we jump into Heat 6. It's going to be Jared Houston taking on Alex Urunga and Sergio Louis.
Yeah, that's another toughie.
Sergio Lewis from Brazil, Alex Urunga from Basque Country.
He's a really good talent. Sergio Lewis is one of the young kids coming through from Intercochiata.
That's right, yeah.
And look, there's a bunch of kids here that came through from that little part of the world, and I guess they all got inspired when you guys went over to Brazil for that leg in June, July. But I'm really impressed with Sergio Lewis. He's a funny little kid. Also, Zic as well. Joe Zic has been, really lighting it up here in Mexico, and I think that we've got the next wave of Brazilian champions coming through. We're just starting to see the next generation of Brazilian bodyboarders.
That's right, and we see Heat 7, Jeff Hubbard, Dallas Singer, and the trials winner, Johan Florentin.
Wow, I mean, have a look at that. I mean, Jeff Hubbard's the defending champion. Dallas Singer is one of the highlights of the competition so far from round 1. And Johan Florentin, he won the trials, and he's just in scintillating form, and that is another really good heat to watch. That's, Heat 5 and Heat 7 is just going to be all time to watch. And the final one, Alex, who's in that one?
Then we go into... the last heat of round 3, Mitch Rawlins, Magno Passos, and Liam O'Toole. Yeah,
well, there you go. And great to see Liam O'Toole. I mean, Liam's such a pleasure to watch. The lines that he draws are so mature.
Yeah, he's a smooth rider,
Yeah, super smooth, and always just his wave selection is just impeccable. Man, we have the most consistent guys left in the contest. The forecast is looking incredible, and I think I'm going to get out of here and let you talk to one of my all-time favourite bodyboarders, Pat Corwell, who's coming up real soon.
No worries. All right, Tezzo, we'll let you go and decide whether this contest is going to be on or not this afternoon. And while you do that, you know what? We're going to throw to a turbo ad.
Hi, I'm Andrew Lester, and this is the Turbo 4. It's the most recognised board in the industry. With its red iconic nose piece, its old school style meets new school technologies, and is suitable for all ages and abilities. We've updated the Turbo 4's template for the new generation by lowering the wide point for more speed and less drag through the elbows. The board features PSI, Precision Stringer Inlay. This means the stringers are moulded in with the core, giving the board added strength and longevity. The board features Surl and Slick for better flex and projection, nose bulbs for grip, 50-50 rails for speed, and channels for control. The Turbo 4 is available in 2 core options: Polypro, which comes with a single circular stringer and is better for warm water, and Paradox Cell, which is a less dense Polypro core. It comes with 3 flat stringers and is better for cooler water. The Turbo 4 works great in anything from beaches to heavy reef breaks, whether a beginner or a seasoned pro. It's a proven design that's been around as long as bodyboarding.
Welcome back, folks. If you're just tuning in around the world again, this is the IBA Mexico pre-show. We will be bringing you a call for the contest at 3 o'clock, which is very shortly. And I've got a special guest with me at the moment, and all of you bodyboarders around the world will know who this is, most of you anyway. The younger generation might not know, but this bloke here invented the old Rolo, Hawaiian legend, Pat Caldwell. Pat,
Thanks, Alex. Great to be here.
How you going, Pat?
Having a great time. Great time.
So, Pat, how's things been, mate? Pretty good?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I just moved back to Hawaii in July from California, and you know, my life is slowing down, and I'm enjoying it at a much slower pace, for sure.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Pat is actually one of our head judges here. He's he's been on the judging scene now for a while for the IBA, travelling around the world, judging a lot of these events, which is good to see. You know, a bodyboarder on the panel. So how's that treat you at the moment?
Well, it's going well. You know, I've got to start with judging back in the late 90s with Midget Smith, and as well as Chico Garitano. So it's just kind of a good calling for me. Having a great time traveling the world, watching some of the best riding in the world, and really just blown away with what's going on, the talent around the world now. It's just fantastic, and it's real special to be in the Judges Tower. That's good.
And you also joined in there with some other greats like Simon Thornton, who's a Tahitian bodyboarder. Well, he's from Australia. He lives in Tahiti. He's one of the main guys at Chopu now too. So, I mean, it must be a pleasure having alongside you, you know, really experienced riders judging this sport.
Absolutely, and from all over the world. You know, we have judges from right here in Mexico as well as Venezuela and Brazil. So, I mean, it's a real international panel, and it's just amazing. You know, we might not all speak the same language, but when it comes down to the riding, it's all the same. And,
that's the same language.
We've got these partitions up, and we put our scores down, and we're all within a point. It's just it's a really great feeling. It's a truly worldwide sport.
Because so with judging, you're only ever in the spotlight when something happens. If there's a discretion or interference call, must be so much scrutiny and pressure on you guys. Just talk us through a bit of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like we always get the bad news from people, the harsh comments when we make mistakes, but never the good comments when we are doing our job correctly, and which is about 99.5% of the time. We are human. We make mistakes. That's why we have a head judge behind us to help correct these human errors that may happen. People are riding. Sometimes you've got your head down. So, I mean, that we all have to work as a team, and I think we've got the best panel and the best head judge in the world right now here in Mexico.
So just to give all the viewers out there perspective on what you're actually looking for at Zicatela, what's the main criteria for the athletes here? What are you going to be judging on?
Well, I mean, it comes down to the big barrel rides, the extreme maneuvers, the big backflips, really making all these maneuvers flow and be functional. And, you know, if the guy's getting a 10 or 15 second barrel ride, they're getting a real high score in the excellent range. Whether they do a roll or a backflip coming out of it, you know, if they do that, they're just getting on top of that excellent score.
So the combination, so you're looking for the big barrel and an exit move out. It's like a critical move.
Absolutely, it's the technical maneuvers, the real difficult maneuvers, and the putting it on the edge, putting on the line, and making the maneuvers and completing the maneuvers.
That's right. And what's the sort of the bigger maneuver that you're looking for? Is it maneuvers you don't see often? Are they getting scored better, sort of like backflips or air reverses? We've seen a lot of rolls go down and ARSs, but we haven't seen many sort of backflips or big air reverses go down yet.
Well,
We've seen a few, but not many.
I think it just comes down to what the wave calls for, you know, and being functional on the wave. And if you can be real technical with what you've got, you're going to get a decent score. Doesn't matter what the wave conditions are.
That's right. Okay. We'll be back. We're just going to throw to a freedom advert, and we'll give you some more questions with Pat straight after this. There we go, Freedom Fins. You'll see the Freedom Round 4 coming up too in probably tomorrow or the next day, so stay tuned for that as well. And I'm Alex Leon. With me, Pat Caldwell, absolute legend. Now, for those of you who don't know, I spoke before, Pat Caldwell invented the roll, the El Rolo, as it's known around the world. I just want to touch on that and talk. I mean, that was sort of the breakthrough of bodyboarding. Just give us a little rundown on how that came about, the roll.
Well, it's real interesting. I was a stand-up surfer before I was into bodyboarding because there weren't any bodyboards when I was very young, starting in the surf. So I read surfer magazines, and there was this one tip in the surfer magazine that actually illustrated a surfer doing an El Rolo.
Okay.
Doing like a three-dimensional 360 is what they actually
right.
Deemed it. And I said, wow, we're on a bodyboard, we're hanging on, we're laying down, we can do that.
Yeah.
Because on this illustration, they had the surfer actually hanging onto a handle between his legs and actually doing like a backside barrel roll and landing it.
No way, trying to roll with a surfboard.
Exactly. And I'm just, and pulling it, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, we can do this on a bodyboard. It's just going to take a few times to figure it out. It's just using centrifugal force, basically. And at that point in the sport, everything was lateral and two-dimensional. So I took it to the next level. I just went out in my favorite break at Sandy Beach and kept falling on my head, kept going up to the lip and trying to roll over and find that centrifugal force. And one day I did it. And it was just amazing when I finally did it. And I did it right in front of Jack Lindholm, of all people. And he was actually the one who coined the term El Rolo. It wasn't me. I called it the barrel roll or the three-dimensional 360. But it was Jack Lindholm that actually termed
Jack the Ripper.
He coined the term El Rolo. It was just amazing.
And so that was in Sandy Beach, was it, where the roll went down?
It was in 1978. Actually.
1978. And we see how much the revolution's changed now. I mean, you must be surprised in the way you see backflips and 720s, and you see Hub do 720s, things like that. What do you think about all that sort of stuff coming from an inventor of the first sort of maneuver?
Well, it's amazing to look at the progression of where. And really, the El Rolo is still the foundation for all of those maneuvers.
All those moves, yeah, momentum.
It's the momentum, the speed, using centrifugal force, and then being able to release yourself from the wave to do these backflips and ARSs and 720s or whatever they're freaky maneuvers they're pulling. So I feel very proud and very proud to be part of this sport and see the way the sport has progressed, and to be here judging and watching all this stuff firsthand is a real privilege.
Yeah, it's amazing, and you've got a good grasp on the sport. And all you kids out there, remember this face. This is Pat Caldwell. He invented the roll. So when you're out there doing a roll tomorrow at the beach, wherever you are on a reef break, that roll you try, it came from this guy here.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that.
So another thing I want to touch on, Pat, is growing up in Hawaii. I mean, that was the basis of bodyboarding with Tom Boyle. Talk about the bodyboard and moray and those days back then.
Well, it was exciting days. Here we have this new wave riding tool that we can take to the beach. It's soft. If it hits you in the face, it doesn't hurt too bad. You can drag it along with you on the bus for no charge. It was just amazing. And at the time that Tom Boyle and Tom Morey were really promoting the sport back in the late 70s and early 80s, we saw something. We actually figured we could be, our own entity and our own professionalism and have our own tour. And so we were quite large in our visionaries at the time in Hawaii growing up, that this sport was going to go worldwide, that it was going to be an introductory sport to a lot of people in the ocean. And it's an easy thing to do the first time, but it's very difficult to perfect. So the stuff that we were doing was a little bit more than what the entry-level person would be doing, but they got to buy boards and they got to pay our salaries, and we saw this giant machine and
starting to turn.
Trying to develop.
Yeah. I mean, just in my eyes, I'm 30 years old now, but I've been bodyboarding since I was 10, and you guys, when I was 10 years old, that's all I watched and that's all I saw, so you guys just still legends in my mind, and everyone else on the tour as well. You're almost heroes to all these guys, and even like world champs and that, still in their eyes, you're still world champs, and all you inventors in Hawaii as well. Also, shout-outs to all those guys, too, down in Hawaii.
Thank you.
And I believe you've been doing lifeguarding, and as a lot of the Hawaiians do, you do a bit of lifeguarding, sort of another job as well within the sport.
Yeah, it was kind of a natural progression. You look, who's lifeguarded after their professional career, and you look at Ben Severson, and you look at Lance Ronquillo, and Fred Booth, and Kainoa McGee, and then the list goes on and on and on.
Spencer
Skipper.
That's right, yeah.
It's just amazing. And all those hours in the water are not for naught, I should say, if that's proper English or not. But, the ocean experience that these guys have just is a great crossover, and it's a fantastic job. You're working outdoors, you're helping people, so it's just been natural progression for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect job, isn't it?
It is. It
At
surely
the beach
is.
every day still. I mean, it's a great life. Yeah, living in Hawaii, being on the, associated with the IBA for years, and then in your spare time being a lifeguard. It's great.
There you go. Supplement the income. You got it.
There you go. And I've just been told that the contest is not going to go ahead today due to these poor onshore winds. So we have a next call tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So for all you viewers around the world, we're sorry we can't bring you a live action this afternoon, but the conditions are very dismal. But we have looked at the forecast and reports. If you missed that earlier on, there's going to be great waves the next 3 days. We should finish the contest by Friday. But we'll be back tomorrow morning with 7 o'clock start. So that's in Mexico. So whatever that time is around the world in your time zone, it's going to be 7 o'clock here. We're probably going to start a pre-show at 6:45 or around 7 o'clock. And we're going to bring you round 3 tomorrow, possibly diving into round 4 as well for a few heats, depending on what time that wind comes up. But it's been great. Thanks for dropping in, Pat. Your knowledge is,
Appreciate it.
it's good to widespread your knowledge around the world. Especially being the inventor of the old roller.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Real humble experience to be a part of this whole sport. And hey, tune in tomorrow. It's going to be bombing. It's going to be spitting barrels. It's just going to be sick. You're going to see the best riders in the world in some of the best conditions. So please tune in tomorrow.
That's right. So anyway, for now, the pre-show, we're going to finish it up. We've got no contest going on this afternoon. So hasta mañana. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we'll finish off with an advert. This has been the IBA Turbo Zicatela Pro, sponsored by Inverted, Reflex, Red Bull, Coastal Playground, and, of course, sportingbet.com.au. Go online, have a look at all the odds tonight, and place some money, join up, become a member. You're supporting the IBA, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hasta mañana.
Aloha.